Well, my name is Gabriela. I'm 35 years old. I'm an English teacher. I have been teaching since 2006 and currently studying to get a conference, English Spanish conference interpreter degree. And I work in secondary and elementary schools, and also I have a lot of private students, adults.
So, our first question is, what are your thoughts about learning styles?
Well, I believe that every student learn using different processes, and I really um, I'm into those learning styles. The bark, in visual, auditory, reading and writing, kinesthetic, and I had great results over the years. Yes,
So, it's
totally.
speaking of those results. So, in if we can kind of dig a little bit deeper, how have you implemented these learning styles in your teaching or in designing instructional materials? So, if you could kind of specify to what extent, that would be.
For example, when every time I have introduced a new topic, for example, present perfect, and the students need to create a board game. So there we will have students putting into practice all their creativity and original ideas. And I mean, the results are great because they are creating something and then they are using the tense. And they love it. They really love it. They are working in teams all the time. And for example, in literature also, they have created big comics, so they have to draw and create different lines than the ones we have read. And well, that is the way I have always worked all my life, and it's really fun. And I had great results. And this year with the pandemic, I
Mm-hmm.
had realized the difference I had because now I have a lot of students that hadn't passed the subject due to the lack of this interaction we had in the class.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how do you see the difference from how you were taught to how you are teaching?
There is a great difference. A great difference. I mean, back in the 2000, where you give instructions and then you need to repeat and repeat and repeat and gap fill,
Mm-hmm.
like trying to put in your head all the things without even process. They were not meaningful, and it was all by heart. So education has improved a lot over the years.
I could see that has influenced you, and that's why you kind of went into
Change.
really emphasizing learning style. So, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
And I'm Lila, by the way. Where did you learn about learning styles?
At the teaching training college.
At the time that you were in college, was it very popular for teachers to teach their students about learning styles?
It was getting in there. We spoke about it, but teachers were introducing it little by little.
What do you feel are the drawbacks of learning styles or implementing learning styles?
I think that one of the drawbacks is the lack of topics that you can teach along the year because you need to select. You cannot cover the whole syllabus using these strategies. So maybe that's the problem. But well, I prefer quality versus quantity. And also there is a problem if teachers are only using it in the class, in the process, and then when they go to the assessment, they are doing something else.
Mm.
So there, it's a fail because you're using a lot of variety of activities in the class, and then you go and drop a reading comprehension test, and that's all. You're not going to see good results.
And how do you adapt to, because you mentioned that you have many different students, different age groups, and they all might have different needs and different learning styles. So how do you accommodate to that or adapt so that everybody is learning with their preferred learning style, but without neglecting any other students?
Sometimes the ones, for example, when I introduced and listening. The ones who like reading or writing, maybe they are not so into it and they get bored. But well, I try to present the topic and go around it, changing the different activities in order to engage them. Yes, it's difficult, it's time consuming, but well, it works. It works.
Would you consider all of them, or you use them alternatively along the week or throughout the class?
I prefer doing throughout the class.
Okay.
Going through every learning style and also covering all the skills, like making a merge with skills and learning styles.
Okay.
And I prefer doing it in one class. So fast paced but well, it depends on what we're doing.
If you can think of any of those techniques, if something comes to your mind that works and it's not related exactly or specifically to learning styles.
Usually we only teach English language and literature, but sometimes it's better to get to know the students and get to know their interests and maybe create like small projects based on what they really like, and that would be awesome because they would be working perfectly. I don't know, about computer science, radio, whatever they are into it, and making projects around those topics.